Everything is lovely and functional. Okay, so another day, another adventure. We are back in the world of Lunanon. But this time, something a little less chaotic. Technically speaking. We return back the year 67 AR. Peace has resided back in the mainland. We go to the island of Lanex, where tucked away in a little cottage, hidden away from the rest of the world, is a woman named Helga, a retired adventurer who's taken under her wing 5 children. Little foundlings. Our adventure follows them through their usual life and what follows. So we have Florian, a young hybrid catman, Pugmud, an orc cave bear folk hybrid, Marcel, a wild fawn Venetian, Mocha, a full Mithra hybrid, and Story, a hybrid of Aerialite and Earth Genasi. And despite their major differences, oh my god, force I forget to mute the one thing that was supposed to start during the meeting. Despite their major differences, they all appear relatively normal. We join them now, as they are called to the living room by their matron. Darlings, come on.
Coming.
Running. Someone must done.
Runs up.
No, you come in now. Otherwise, you're not getting any. Come on.
I'm so close. Fine.
Marcel, it is not that important.
Oh, coming.
Food is more important.
I think that my last size outfits. So cool. I almost get to paint them. I made them little swords, little shields, and literally like a couple of scrapes away and I'd be done. Fine. And he sort of storms into the room, a little bit grumpy.
Ooh, what's wrong? Why are you so grumpy?
Tiny swords that have not been fitted properly.
Oh dear.
Suppose I could make it a club and I wouldn't have to sharpen it, but anyway.
This thing is old. Fair, it's probably a bit quirky because it's old as fuck. Okay. Just connection being funky. So, you all end up charging into the dining room as you see. Well, for most of you, she's shorter. For Florian, she's a bit taller than you. Your matron, as she is using this little step ladder type thing to basically climb up to the table and pour out these. Use this ladle to pour out this rich, creamy-looking broth into these bowls. Come on, this fresh off the stove. And I'm not going to wait for you to hurry your ass up. If you're not sitting down by the time that I finish serving, that sucks for you. And she's looking directly at you, Marcel.
And Marcel leaps from where he is immediately onto one of the chairs, in a very practiced and rehearsed manner.
That is what I thought.
Mocha has already zipped to sit down. She is ready.
Same.
Imagine, I'm picturing
Like
like knives and forks on the table.
Yeah.
It just
Food.
Oh dear.
Consume.
And as everybody is settling at the table, she opens the blinds, and you can see that it is snowing outside. These it's a soft winds as you. The house. If I were to describe the house to you all, it's essentially like what you picture like your stereotypical cozy cottagecore type place. There's lots of little colourful flowers, and the whole place is like a variable mishmash of different types of wood beams and furniture that all looks relatively handcrafted. And she totters her way back over, takes her seat, and starts consuming the soup that she has made.
We also have soup.
Yeah,
We are
you all have your
consuming
own
the soup.
Marcel
We are
is
consuming the
is
soup.
eating his soup, but he is staring out the window, not paying attention to anything else.
I'm just digging into my soup at an extreme rate. I'm so hungry.
It's just like a fucking.
Careful
It's like the
not
sound of
you're
a
splashing it.
Yeah, who's in the splash zone?
Probably for-
I
Oh
tell you
no.
what, Mocha,
Yes.
Make a dex save.
make me make me a dexterity check.
Dexterity.
You're in the splash zone.
22.
So you are fortunate enough that whilst you are attacking this bowl with a fervent level of energy to you, you are fortunate enough that you are not splashing it far enough. It's getting on you a little bit, like you've noticed that you notice like it's gotten on your top. However, in the time that it's taken your brain to process that you're splashing yourself, Helga has already put a little napkin tuck the tip of it down your top, and it has caught all of the soup that you've splashed, as though she's already foresaw this happening and has prevented the problem before it even arose.
No, thank you, Matron.
Oh, it is fine, darling. What else would you do?
Starved to death?
Oh dear.
Not objectively wrong, no, but not exactly what I would expect.
I'm sorry, I'm just really hungry.
And as you guys are eating the soup, it is a very warm, slightly salty broth that warms your soul. It's a type of like vegetable broth that has been infused with the bones of some of the animals that you've caught recently. So there is absolutely zero waste.
Scoria, could you pass the salt, please? I
Of
can't reach it.
course, Marcel. The Scoria hands over the sauce. Or whatever it is.
And he begins
Salt.
dousing his soup in salt, while still not really paying attention to what he's doing.
And you find after a few shakes of after a few movements of the salt shaker. Let's see if it's on here. You find the salt shaker is no longer in your hand.
Oh.
And it is pinned to the wall behind you by what appears to be a type of carving fork.
Wow.
You know, the two-pronged fork.
Impressive. Do it again!
That Helga has catapulted from underneath the table at the wall, and you can see the prongs of the fork wobbling, with the salt shaker perfectly caught between the prongs. Darling, pay attention to your food. I did not make this for you to waste it.
It's just a little salt. I mean, what could be wrong with that?
You idiot.
Okay, fine. I should have been paying attention.
And she gets up, totters over, uses her cloth to basically wipe your face from the being very careful not like mothering over you, but she's respectfully dabbing away any of the excess soup that is still around your mouth before taking the bowl, picking it up, and you watch as the soup contents within seems to disappear into the bottom of the bowl, vanishing from thin air before refilling. Now, darling, you're not going to fuck around,
We're going to find out.
else you will find out, and as you have learnt before from me, I am not going to tolerate wasted food.
Like, leans back and pulls the fork out of the wall and puts a tiny bit of salt on the soup. And then puts it back
And
on
she,
the table.
the whole time that you're doing that, she's standing next to you, staring at you intently. It almost feels like you're defusing a bomb as you're applying the salt.
Sweat dripping from either side of his head.
And she goes and you watch. It's kind of funny. You watch as she bounces. She has to jump to grab the fork out of the wall. And totters back to her seat. Finishes the last few spoonfuls of her soup. And then just totters on back to her to what she was doing prior, back in the kitchen. You can hear some clinking and clanging of pots, some running water, and are any of you familiar with Lebanese? Do any of you speak or understand Lebanese?
No.
Pause
That
a
was-
certain amount of it? No.
No.
Speak cat.
No.
So she can
Okay.
badmouth the kids without never understanding.
So you hear what sounds like a very aggressive word in a language you don't understand echo out from the kitchen as you hear a pot hit the floor.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh,
Are you okay?
Yes, darlings, I'm fine. It is just a pot. Now, if it was something like an explosive, then we would have problems.
You have to go by the handle, not by the metal bit. Otherwise you'll burn your fingers.
And she looks at you as though you've just stated the most obvious thing.
And he has the sweetest, most innocent smile on his face.
If it weren't for the fact that you were as cute as you were, you would be getting slapped a lot more. So you do take after me with my sass, so I will let it pass. And she totters back into the kitchen. You can hear her washing up before she. You can hear the back door from the kitchen open, some splashing noise, and then you can hear her footsteps going back upstairs to where she normally goes and relaxes. Her little study.
And Marcel leans across the table. Hey, Florian. It's snowing outside.
It is snowing outside.
Do you want to go outside and make some sculptures? We could make like forts or castles, and then we could siege each other's castles. We could make some sticks and some elastic, and then make like a trebuchet. Oh, it would be so cool.
I don't think Matron would like it if we start a war with each other. I think she'll be upset.
It is not a war, it's play. There's nothing wrong with that. Sorry, back me up here.
I can be the trebuchet, I'll just launch you.
Hugmug can launch the boulders.
Okay, let's go play.
Yes!
And Florian runs off into the snow.
And as you run for the front, are you going for the front door or the back door?
Which one's closest?
Probably the front door, purely because you know the back door only goes out into Helga's herb and vegetable garden.
Oh, I get to the door, and then I'm like, oh, my coat, and I run
Which
back
is
and get my coat
directly
and my.
It is directly by the doorway. You turn around, you get about halfway through your spin, and realize that Matron has already thought ahead. Helga has left all of your coats, Wellington boots, and all of your cold stuff by the door.
I grab that and put it on and run out into the snow.
And Marcella's already hard at work compacting snow into blocks that he can make a wall out of, using water to harden it into ice.
Hugmug,
And,
Murder, and
Hugmug's
Story,
just
are you
gonna-
coming out?
Nope.
Are you following? Just so I know where
Yeah.
you're going.
Yeah, Hogmug's putting his boots on. He's heading outside. He's gonna start shoveling the snow with his giant hands.
Yes, you can build us a moat! He will never penetrate our defenses!
Yo, I got this.
Florian, it's now me and Hugmug against you. I hope you're okay with that.
Well, Momo, can you be on my side?
Coming!
Ha. She'll eat your snow castle.
Everything's a big snow cone.
Smoker licks her way through the
No.
wall.
No,
I
no!
like
Oh,
castles.
dear.
Wait, this bit's yellow.
No.
Do not eat it! Do not!
Scoria,
Oh, yeah,
are
you can
you...
be referee.
Hmm?
Make sure
I
nobody
am
cheats.
the referee.
Okay, so all five of you have gotten, you know, all dressed up, and you head out into the snow, and you're having fun. And a little while passes as you're just having a good time.
Snow warfare.
Yeah, like
The snow siege.
after a little bit of time, Scoria, you get the hilarious POV watching Marcel and Florian lob snowballs at each other, but
I imagine it like culminates with him storming the castle, and it's like a wooden sword fight across the wall. We're
Oh,
both like
no.
trying to keep our balance.
I arm myself with my battle fork.
so you pick up so you take out the wooden battle fork that Helga has been training you to use.
hmm
As Marcel storms the front snow wall that you've made, with snowball in hand.
It is over, Sir Florian. Drop your weapons.
We will not surrender!
Then you will all die.
Not if I eat your fork first!
Fork.
I'm going to dive behind Marcel and stab my fork into his fort.
And I'm gonna
Okay.
jump onto Marcel's face so that he can't
Like a
see anything.
Florian!
Okay,
while I-
so Mocha, make a roll to hit.
Dex check
Florian,
to roll
acrobatics check.
Dex check to roll back
Hmm?
and launch him past.
And
him.
can Hugmug
So,
just
like,
pick them up and chuck them away?
Yeah,
Can I roll a strength?
You can
just
roll a
catch them in
strength check
midair
for
with
that.
one hand.
So we'll start with
Literally
Mocha.
just like pick them off and just be like, yeet.
I got 23.
Yeah, so you turn around
Acrobatics, he said.
and you ram the end of the wooden fork into the wall, and you manage to somehow strike a little bit of a weak point, and you watch as some of Marcel's expertly crafted snow bricks end up falling in on themselves.
I rolled a 17.
A 17. So you managed to jump onto Marcel. So you're basically like you're like a front backpack that's been put on a little bit too high up. And then Hugmug, strength check.
Yeah, I rolled a 15.
A 15.
Yes.
It's not hard. It's not hard to pick up.
Yeah, you managed to successfully pick them both up
What the? What's that you on?
without trouble, because you're considered large for
Wait,
anything strength related.
who is he picking up?
Marcel and Florian, because you are you're hugging Marcel's face as so Hugmug just comes over, just scoops you both up in his hands. Are you throwing them?
I am yeeting them back towards their castle.
Okay,
Wait,
so
what?
you
Can
end
I
up
try and trip Hugmug before you can do it? Like, I'm sure with the fork, I have enough range.
I'm
Just
gonna
trying to
say
see.
no, purely because
Oh.
your fork is currently wedged into the snow wall
No.
that you're trying to
You're
pull it
currently in
out.
attack mode.
So Hugmug, you
Ha,
end
you're
up
now the part
throwing
of the
them both.
foundations.
You end up throwing them both across the wall,
Shoot.
and they land in this big snow mound that kicks up snowflakes into the air. And
You don't touch my fort.
you watch as
It's Hogwarts fort.
there's a couple of
Alcohol.
trees in the canopy. There's a couple of
Oh.
trees overhead
Oh.
where you guys are playing, and they cut like it's normally a nice little tree to read under during the summer months. However, this is winter. It has collected snow, and you watch Hugmug gets a front row POV as the boughs of the tree shake from the impact of all of just these two hitting the ground.
Oh no! You're
And
getting
all of the
buried.
snow drops down to the ground, burying Mocha, Hugmug, like Hugmug, fucking
Me?
like it buries your feet,
Long
Like,
lives the
you-
king! Ooh.
like because it just cascades down into like a big mound. So Florian, Marcel, and Mocha are buried under snow, and the toes of your boots are buried under the snow with it.
Okay.
Scoria slow claps.
Upon further consideration, I agree to peace talks.
Can I at least retrieve my property first?
Marcel, I did it. We won.
Well done.
Not exactly.
Well done,
after.
Huggy. You did
It
it.
doesn't,
Oh, my
it doesn't
head.
exactly hug a bug.
Oh. Talk
I'm
about
forgetting
brain
which side he was
freeze.
on.
Florian is still climbing out because he's tiny.
Oh god, can I help Florian get out of the snow before he suffocates?
Yeah, so are you
Grab my
digging
hand.
him out? Are you digging him out, or are you just pulling him out?
I'm pulling him out.
You're pulling him out. Okay.
I'm pretty sure Marcel's pretty good at getting himself out with his rat claws.
Antics.
Yeah. So you guys end up digging yourselves out of the snow, and who has highest passive perception?
Shake all the snow off myself
Yeah.
once I'm out,
So as you guys are brushing,
and probably directly onto Mocha.
so you're
Yeah.
brushing yourselves down after all the little bit of chaos. Marcel, you are the first person to notice that Matron is currently standing in the doorway watching your antics.
Hello!
Having fun, darlings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's a bit dizzy.
A blast.
I
And
think there was more than snow on that tree.
well, of course, darling. It is an oak tree. It's going to have acorns and things like that.
He just emerges from the snow and he's got like half a bird's nest in his hair.
No. So, your matron approaches you, and she goes up to Scoria. Since you're being the responsible one today, darling, what I would like you all to do, we are running a little low on some herbs. So, would the four of you I say the four of you, if you wouldn't mind being the responsible one today.
That is
Could you
alright,
go
I
out and
can
gather
be
some more
responsible.
herbs for us?
Of course, mate.
Thank you, darling. You see, I'm running low on this winter basil.
winter basil.
And she gives you a basket. A couple of baskets. Like, they're small, they're relatively small. You'd say they're like maybe... like the size of like a medium mason jar each. To put these in. And a little picture, like a very almost perfect picture of the basil itself that she has hand sketched. And basically, she walks back into the house and leaves you guys to it.
Alrighty, everyone. We have a task to complete. But I think we can make a competition out of this. Whoever gets the most winter basil.
I like winter basil.
Like in teams or individually?
Individually, of course. There's a basket for everyone.
And
Gloria
Marcel
hands
sort
out
of,
baskets.
in a bit of a daze, saunters over and takes one of the baskets.
This is what we are looking for, winter basil. Scoria holds up the picture so that everyone can see.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever collects the most, I do not know.
Wins! Just wins!
Wins. Go win. Go win everlasting respect.
And with the basil.
Ooh,
With the basil.
respect.
Anyway, let us collect basil.
So, you end up heading out with your little baskets.
Is
And-
winter basil something that grows out of the ground? Is it something that grows on trees?
It is something that grows out of the ground, and it is a type of wild herb.
Hmm.
And
So,
so it's basically a little herb that grows out of the ground and tends to grow at the base of certain trees.
I feel like Mocha has an unfair advantage here.
Can I smell the herbs?
You can,
Same. That's what I was gonna say.
but you are going to struggle a little bit compared to normal because you've also got to contend with the scents of snow, different types of berries. Because you are part Kwu, you are able to automatically detect the scent of food. But because there are so many different scents at the moment around you, it's a little hard to discern what's what. Because
Okay.
the winter basil you're looking for, unfortunately, happens to have a very faint scent to it.
Ah.
But you know what kind of what tree? Do we know what tree it grows under?
It just grows under trees generally. It's like it's almost akin to a type of wildflower.
Oh, so making a nature check wouldn't be really useful.
It would either be a nature check or a survival check.
Can I make a nature check?
Go for it.
Oh, you.
Let's see. Nature 4, survival 2.
Well, I got 7 in both.
Could it be a smell-based perception?
Can I roll
It
with
can be.
advantage?
I got a
Or-
22.
Yeah, because if it's a smell-based perception check, then I could get advantage.
You can roll that perception check if you wish. Yes. Mocha, I'm not going to give you advantage purely because I know you have hilariously high survival.
Yeah, it's alright. I just rolled a 25, so it's okay.
That's very high.
Yeah. I got an 18.
21.
Damn.
Fucking sniffing that shit out.
Okay, so
On the floor.
go
the
from
floor, just-
the first check that was rolled. Hugmug, what did you roll for your nature check?
22.
22. Okay. So, are you guys like spreading out far from each other, or are you keeping within like a certain distance of each other?
I guess like a circumference.
I'm keeping within sight, so as long as I can see someone else.
Okay.
That's the distance.
Yeah, so that I could, yeah, not too far away. Actually, not really far away at all. Just enough so we can look at people and know they're there.
Yeah, so you're keeping within, like, so long as you can see each other. Okay, that's sensible. So, Hugmug, you start having a look at the different herbs and plants, and this is one that you remember Helga using a while ago for a really nice sauce that she made that you couldn't stop eating. Like, she had to hide the jar from you of all, like, she cans her own goods by using, like, basically sealing these mason jars that you're currently using to gather
Like
like in your
sauce.
baskets. Yeah, like, it's like you were struggling to fathom how she was able to make something taste so good, type of hiding it away. And you find several handfuls underneath a tree a little ways off into the woodland. And you can still keep sight of everyone, and you can definitely see Florian as you spot his hat sticking out over one of the bushes nearby. So there's
I
this
bet some
little
over
stuff.
here.
Got a basket as well, so I'm assuming you're going to start picking it.
Yes, he's going to start picking it. And also, he's going to let Florian know that there's some over here.
Aw. Who was the next person that made a check? I will be completely honest.
I guess me?
Okay, what did you roll on your survival?
25.
So you managed to discern quite quickly where the smell is coming from, and it's a little hard to pick up, but it's like watching the equivalent of, like, a human truffle pig go to work as you start sniffing the air, and you almost end up walking into the tree because you're so hyper fixated on, right, follow the smell. Here is the smell.
Accurate.
It is there. And you nearly walk into the tree, but you find what I'm going to describe as, like, a small treasure trove of herbs underneath.
Yes.
Like loads of this winter basil, and some other types of herbs that Helga uses often. Specifically, some medicinal ones that she uses to make little bandages, and that she keeps dried within her first aid kit for when you guys have scuffed yourselves or injured yourselves.
Yippee!
And Florian, what was your smell-based perception check?
21.
21. So you sniff in the air, and for a moment, you pick up on something that doesn't smell quite right. It smells almost a little ashen. And then you pick up on the scent that you're looking for. You can smell the basil.
Cool. How much do I find?
So you go over to it. You find several handfuls of this basil, and you can hear Hugmug calling to you to let you know that he has found a significant amount. So you guys are picking. Marcel's
taking a different approach to everyone else.
That being.
It's a foresty area, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to try and get a better view so we can look down and try and pick out by sight. So he's climbing up a tree and he's moving between the trees and looking around to see if he can see anything.
Okay. So you're looking around, and can you make me a sight-based perception check, please?
That is a 24.
24.
Mm-hmm.
You notice you catch a brief glimpse of something purple in the undergrowth.
Hmm?
You blink and it's gone. Must be just some sort of strange bird. You assume.
Yeah, makes a mental note of it and decides to, in case he wants to try and find it again.
But you find yourself having a very difficult time trying to find these herbs. Because the vast majority of the ground is white. The herbs that you're looking for are a pale bluish colour.
Okay.
So it blends in a little bit. Until you watch Mocha nearly walk into the tree that you have climbed up into, much to your amusement. And she starts picking these herbs.
Hey, I found them first! And he drops
No,
down,
they're mine.
He drops down from the tree and starts trying to grab some of them.
Hey!
Scoria,
Learn to share.
are you helping them, or are you on observation duty?
Scoring, keeping an eye out.
Okay. You roll me a sight-based perception check, please.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Nat 20. That's 23 total.
23 total.
Yep.
Okay, and it's at 20 as well. You notice off in the bushes, you spot Marcel looking off at something in the distance. Before he shrugs, and you spot from that same area, from the near, you can see what appears to be a pair of antlers in the undergrowth that are rapidly moving in the opposite direction from you. Roll me an insight check, please.
Nice. A 7.
It's a 7.
Yeah.
You pass it off as just wildlife. There's been a couple of deers that have wandered onto the land that Helga maintains most of the time. You've actually caught one before, as that's the first time. As it's the first time that you watched Helga with a spear, and partly what inspired you to take up the path of a dragoon. Watching Matron throw a javelin a solid 70 feet away from her and nailing the deer at that distance. That doesn't seem unusual to you. Wildlife is going to be wildlife, so it'll just appear and disappear. And a little bit more time passes, and you guys end up regathering together by Scoria and trying to figure out who has the most herbs. The problem is, in these baskets, though, with those mason jars that you only had one jar to fill each. You've all filled the jars, so there is no clear winner. They are all packed to the brim. However, it's eventually settled upon that Mocha is the one that wins, because not only did she find a large quantity of this winter basil you're looking for, but also has a basket full of medicinal herbs. There's just like an added bonus on top of that.
Scoria. Scoria? Jesus.
It's alright.
Mocha!
Mocha, you have outdone us all.
Yay, Mocha! Woo!
This game was rigged.
So where can I eat all of them?
Not yet. We
Oh,
must return
Lord.
to Helga.
Are you returning back to Helga and going back to the house?
You're...
Yep.
Yeah.
So, as you're heading back, you're trudging through the snow. And you get back, and essentially the moment you return, Helga takes the jars from you. Thanks you. Thank you, darlings. This is perfect. Wow. Mocha. Oh, this will be perfect. Now I know you've just come back from checking something for me. But what I need you to do, there's also the snails that need checking as well. So if I could send you all out to go and check those, we might have a couple of rabbits or something this time.
Snares. I said snails.
Snails?
Snares. Sorry.
Oh wow! I thought you said snails.
Wait,
I also
I fully
thought-
I
thought you
think
said snails.
You definitely said
I
snails.
was like, what
It's
the
'cause-
snails got
it's
to do with
'cause I'm
rabbits?
not used to do it. I'm used to doing the accent, but that's the one word I have not attempted to say before. She said snares, not
Snares.
snails.
Understandable.
Snares. No, it does kind of, yeah, snails.
Because how I do the accent is I pronounce every R as though it has an L immediately after it.
Snails.
So I can see where you got snails from.
Well.
Snares.
So she sends you out to go and
Okay.
check the snares. But before you do that, she brings you all in for a cup of tea to warm yourselves up. And so you're sitting there for a little bit with a nice hot mug of warm tea.
Mug?
Hugging the mug with your hands.
Yeah.
No, it's nice and warm.
And say 10 minutes later, after you've consumed the tea, you head back out into the cold to go and check the snares.
Do we also find any snails?
Unfortunately, no, because it is the middle of winter.
Yeah, it's not the season for snails,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
If you do find a snail, it's probably a monster. And along your way, you get jump scared by a boar that you hear squealing as it charges through the bushes, across your path, and off into the distance.
Oh my god!
And much to your enjoyment, you can tell that this boar is a female, as her 3 piglets, little piglets, are squealing, chasing after her. And they very clearly appear to be back on their way to their den.
Aww.
Food?
Those babies. No, they're not food yet. They need to grow up a bit first.
Oh, okay. So if we wait a bit, then they'll be even bigger, and then there'll be even more meat to eat.
Wait
Exactly.
about 20 minutes or so.
What?
Only 20? Oh, I don't
I'm
know if I'll
joking,
live
I'm
20
joking.
minutes.
You could survive. For
You
a
will
minute.
live much longer than 20
Scoria, I'm
minutes.
starving.
That is,
We literally
Here,
just
have
ate.
some snow.
actually. You are simply not different, Mocha. There is nothing I can do.
So
And
do you have
Marcel's
any
going to
food
pull
on
an
you?
apple out of his little, out of his, what does he wear? It's not a jacket, it's a...
It is a jacket,
Okay,
technically.
he's going to pull an apple out of his jacket, because he always has some sort of emergency supply whenever Mocha starts getting hungry.
So you pull this apple out of your jacket and hand it over.
hands it over, eyes closed, looking away. Not sure what's going to happen next.
It's supersonic to take it out of his hand, and in 2 seconds it is devoured.
Okay, not spit on hand.
Make
this
sure
time,
not to
good.
eat the seeds.
She has already consumed the seeds. They are gone.
Oh, well,
I'm
don't eat
pictu-
too many seeds.
I'm picturing that the apple was grabbed
I got turned into an apple tree.
straight into mouth and just crunch, 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 gone.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Even the core is inside of me.
Everyone has a core. Anyway,
There you go. That should work for 5 minutes,
so
at least.
Hmm?
So that should work for at least 5 minutes.
More like 20 seconds.
so you
I'm
get
hungry.
so as you're walking, you eventually get to the you eventually get to the snares and a couple of animal traps that that you guys actually set up, as Helga has been teaching you how to look after yourselves. But when you eventually choose to move away, when you're ready to, which none of you have, all of you are like, why the fuck would we do
Right.
that? Comfortable, nice, happy, comfy home. Why? And you find 2 of the traps have been triggered, but have not caught anything. But in the 3rd trap that you all check, you find a rather plump-looking deer that has been caught in one of the snare traps.
Hey, Mocha, you'll like the look of this.
Oh, it's there.
No, it's not a bear.
No, there's so much there.
Oh,
Mocha,
it's also not a bear.
this is the trap that
It's
this
also
is.
not a rabbit.
Hmm?
It's also not a rabbit. We came here for rabbit.
So are you going to leave this? Well, it is very clearly dead, deer. But are you going to leave it in the snare trap?
It's no use leaving it, sir.
So who has whoever has good disable device?
Oh god,
The
got
Scoria
+5.
has 5.
I have 4.
I've also got 4.
Could
I have
Marcel and
one.
Scoria work together on it? One person's holding the thing taut,
One
while the
of
other
you would
person's
roll
maneuvering
with
it out.
advantage, because that would be the help action. So one of you would roll with
Gloria,
advantage.
you roll with advantage.
Okay, yeah, roll with advantage.
Yeah.
So the 2 of you go up to the trap and start trying to get this deer free.
Oh, another nat 20. Perfect.
Damn!
That is a 25.
The first time in her
endorsed
life,
that.
Scoria is finally not
Well.
rolling in that one.
Jokes on you.
Don't
Wait
jinx
until
it.
later.
Don't
It'll
jinx
happen
it.
eventually.
Too late.
So
I mean, the planets did a line like last week, so
so you get the deer down, and you're very fortunate that because it's very clearly perished to the cold, which is surprising, but it also doesn't surprise you because there was quite a brutal storm a few days ago.
I should have preserved the meat.
Yes, you find that the meat on the inside is frozen solid, meaning there is no You're also quite fortunate that nothing has come along to try and consume it, meaning there is no blood, no viscera to have to clear up.
Do we have any means of bagging it?
No, you do not.
I think we're carrying it.
Hugma
Yes.
can probably just
Huggy.
lug it over his shoulder.
Oh, I could carry it.
Let me check. This is a thing that I can check because I've spent the time to check this.
Don't I have some sort of advantage when carrying things for some reason?
You
You're
do.
Heavy
also like
lifter.
2 foot.
I gain a +4 to strength checks that relate to
hilarious to
lifting.
watch as he picks up the deer and walks through the snow and just gradually descends into the snow under its weight.
Remember, +4 to my -2 is just +2.
It's like he's
Yeah.
in quicksand.
Oh dear.
Okay, so Florian, initially you end up helping to try and lift it up so that Hugmug can basically heave the thing over his back. So the 2 of you work together, and Hugmug now has a frozen deer slung over his shoulder for you guys to carry it back.
I got it.
Shouldn't we actually like reset the snare?
You would. However, everybody please roll me a hearing-based perception check.
Uh-oh.
Hearing based. What do I hear with my little ears?
I hear
Perception.
everything.
Not much.
Natural 20 for a second.
No, it's not that bad. It's
Okay, so Florian, what did you roll?
13.
Hugmug,
Nat 20.
which is what total?
21.
Sweet. Marcel?
27, nat 20.
Fucking hell. Okay. Mocha
15.
and Scoria.
A team.
Okay, so you all hear, much to your surprise, the sound of rattling cans,
Sound of music.
which immediately sets all of you on high alert,
Is that like a perimeter fence that we have or something like that?
because Helga has set up a perimeter line of enchanted string cans that are invisible to anybody that is not yourselves or her.
And what are we instructed to do on the occasion that that is triggered?
It means that there is either a monster or person that could potentially be dangerous, and you are to immediately make your way back to the cottage as soon as you can.
Quick, let's go.
Oh,
And so you're
It's a big one this time.
making your way back?
We must warn Helga. Matron must know.
And as you get back to the cottage, the back door is already locked and closed, and you can see Helga peeking out through the blinds. As she rushes, you can hear her moving and swearing to herself in that language you can't understand as she opens the door, and you all rush in. The deer being basically slung onto the table.
Hi, Matron. We found a deer, and also something's rattling the cans.
And there is a very intense energy in her expression.
Is everything okay?
Let's roll a Helga perception check. Okay. And you can see a rising fear in her expression as she seems to have spotted something that you haven't. Darlings, come with me. Come on. This is not the time to fuck around. Come on. And she leads you over to a panel on the floor. And opens it.
What is that? What's happening?
And you see it is like a carved out crawl space underneath the living room floor that seems to have been carved out with the intent to fit all 5 of you in there, and potentially Helga, alongside a few that you can see. There's a few books and a couple lanterns down here to light it up. Come on.
have we ever seen this space before?
You have not. This is the first time you're seeing this.
It's small in here.
Hang on.
Marcel obeys.
Darling,
Jumps down
darlings,
the hole.
into the hole. Come on. Down. Go.
We go in the hole.
Scoria goes in last.
And once you're all in, the panel is closed. With a very gentle tap sound.
Is Helga with us or on the other side?
She is not with you.
Shit.
Aren't you coming with us? What's happening?
And she crouches down, and in a very hushed tone, darlings, you need to stay quiet. Not a peep.
And he just silently nods.
And you hear
Going
this.
to
Oh.
have her spear trained at the hatch.
Yeah, you all have your weapons on you. So you're pointing your spear at the hatch, and you can hear this awfully loud racket upstairs, as it sounds as though somebody is smashing in the door.
Alright now. Put your hands up or we're gonna fucking kill you.
You can hear echoing through the building as you hear the front door give way, and this very loud slam of wood on wood, followed by the sounds of a man screaming, and what sounds like electricity, followed by a fleshy thud, as though somebody has fallen over face first onto the floor.
Can we see anything out of the slats of the...
Through the floorboards, you can see Helga backing up into the living room. And for a moment, your vision blurs a little bit. And that's when you realize that it's not your vision that's blurring. The wooden floorboards above you are being covered in a layer of very cloudy ice, meaning that anybody from above cannot see you, but you are just about able to see what's above, but little more than silhouettes. The ice is thick enough that, from Scoria's POV, because I imagine you're closest to the top of the hatch, the ice is thick enough that you cannot push the door open if you tried. You are sealed in here for the time being.
She's going to be okay, right? Should we do something? He's whispering.
Borean just
by the
shakes his
way.
head.
We can't just leave her there.
We have to trust in her.
And that's when your discussions are closed off by an almost regal sounding voice entering the room. The man, it's quite clearly a man's voice. However, you cannot, for the life of you, put a name to the voice. This is not somebody you know. Well, if it isn't Madame Petunias. Ah, say, it's quite a nice cottage you have here. Of course, darling. That is not what you'll be saying once you're leaving. What do you want? This is not your home. Well, you just so happen to have some information that we're in need of. So, going to come with us, aren't you, you merry young lady? That will be the last thing I do. Okay. And you hear the sound of a struggle, and you can see these silhouettes before hearing Helga grunt, followed by the visage of her silhouette collapsing onto the floor and being dragged away by a pair of large silhouettes.
No. We have to do something. We have to save her.
Gloria holds us out.
Well, that was entertaining. Well, we know that she has children here. Find them, kill them. Now hang on a minute. I am not here to deal with additional targets. The woman was the only thing that I was here for. Well, suit yourself. You, sir. Well, yeah. What is it, Archbishop Lux? What do you want? Thank you for addressing me by the proper title. Say, Be a good fellow. Beat this man within an inch of his life and break his antlers. It shall be a rather befitting title of the place that he came from. Ta-ta!
Can we see anything through the
You
through the
cannot.
floorboards? No.
You can hear, but it seems like this interaction is taking place in the hallway, just outside of your view. And there's the audible sounds of a struggle, an uncomfortable crunching noise, followed by another body collapsing and being... before you can hear what sounds like torches being lit. Like the flint and steel that Helga uses to light the fire, the big stove. And then you can see these flickering lights above you.
Is there a way out?
No, there is not. But you notice that the area around you is all packed dirt and clay. The floorboards above you are not in fact made of wood. They are made of stone.
So as long as we keep the air temperature low enough in here, we'll be fine.
Yeah. And it seems as though the thick layer of ice on the top of the trapdoor is keeping this space at the perfect temperature. And a few minutes pass until the sound of people in the room above are gone, and the ice disappears completely.
Has the fire stopped?
The flickering light appears to have gone. Yes.
Scoria is going to carefully push it up just so enough that she can see outside.
And you feel something thick and acidic in the back of your throat as you see around you. Your childhood home has been set ablaze, prematurely put out by the snow that was on the roof. There's splatterings of blood, charred corpses, and everything is covered in soot or snow from where there are holes in the roof above you.
What do you see?
It is all gone.
What do you mean it's all gone? And he's
Ow.
like pushes past her.
Are they gone?
They are gone.
What's happened?
Someone dead.
Marcel, you said you pushed past Scoria. Are you leaving the trapdoor?
Is everything still on fire?
No.
Then, yes.
So you push past Scoria, exit the trapdoor, leaving the others in there behind you. And
Scoria follows myself.
you feel nauseous as you can see the home full of happy memories has been ignited. Everything is covered in soot and dirt, and the thing that breaks your heart the most is seeing the little sculpture that you and Florian spent months on trying to figure out how to work clay is shattered across the floor.
Oh no.
There are very clear signs of a struggle throughout the whole building.
It's
Why would
he's
someone
right.
do
It's
that?
it's all gone. Everything.
Wait, show me.
Can Hugbug push his way out?
The door.
Yeah. So, Hugmug, you get out, and you see the exact same thing that Scoria and Marcel have seen.
How could this happen? What have we done to
Stick.
deserve this?
My emotional stick.
And his lip is trembling, and there are tears welling up in his eyes.
Scoria, Mocha, Florian. Are the three of you coming out of the trapdoor?
Yeah.
So you get up, and you see the same
Very
thing as everyone
slowly.
else. It does not appear that there is anybody here at this point. There is nothing here now. The place looks like it's been ransacked as well, so any valuables are gone.
Why would someone do something like this?
I don't know, but we have to. We have to find out. We have to get Helga back. Somehow.
I think I heard one of them say something about information. So Helga is probably alive.
Yes.
We
yes,
have to save
it's
her.
that.
And as you're trying to gather your bearings, Hugmug, you remember a long time ago Helga telling you guys about a small little a hidden away little stash of belongings for you guys to keep hold of within the house, just in case something bad were to happen. And at the time, it didn't make sense to you. However, suddenly, you seem to understand that part of the purpose of it. Initially, she had explained that, oh, just in case like a hurricane had come past or something like that. But you remember the location of this little stash. What are you gonna do?
Wait, she left us.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna tell them all about the stash.
Okay, so you please inform them. Say it, my dude.
She told me, some time ago that there was some supplies if anything bad were to happen, and I guess maybe I think something bad might have happened.
Do
So
you
maybe
remember where it
we
is?
should get the supplies.
It's the
Oh
different-
yeah, just right here.
And he's gonna like take them to where the supplies are.
Okay. So, before you go to the supplies, are you doing anything else in this room?
I'm gonna look at the charred corpses.
Okay. So you
Yeah,
go over to
that.
them. Florian, are you helping Scoria?
Yes.
Observe. So you go over to the charred corpses. It appears that these are whoever they were, some sort of low-life bandit. And they have very clearly met an unfortunate end at the hands of a lightning spell, which would explain that the magical presence that you felt earlier.
Is the body entirely charred or just like for the vast majority?
Roll investigation.
Oh, as soon as I lean back in my chair. What have I got? +5.
It's a serious business. You can't be relaxing.
Non-natural 20.
You notice that amongst the remains, there are a couple of people here that have that are basically met their demise at very clearly at Helga's hands. And on one of them, you find a pendant that has what appears to have a rainbow-colored gemstone in it. Looks to be, although on closer inspection you realize it's glass, but it appears to be almost like prismatic in color, so it shifts in a rainbow of colors as you move it around in the light.
Okay. Can I add that to my inventory?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
I'll pop that into your equipment page for you.
Thank you.
Now let's go find the cool stuff.
What did I miss?
Mocha has found a pendant, a mysterious pendant that appears to have a prismatic glass-colored gemstone. Oh, glass-colored. A prismatic-colored gemstone that's like glass, that's very clearly glass, not an actual valuable gem, with a gold chain that appears to have some sort of symbol for these people. You have no idea.
Has any of the kitchen cutlery or anything survived?
You have not checked yet.
Can I go check? See if there's anything like a butcher's knife or something instead of a wooden dagger which he currently has on him.
Yeah. The supply pack or supply stash that Hugmug was looking for just so happens to be in the kitchen as well, as he's trying to show you where the stash is.
I'm kind of picturing John Wick style. We're getting a fucking sledgehammer to the concrete and digging it up.
No. You find it is a sliding panel. As Hugmug basically crouches down, as you've moved into the kitchen. I'm presuming this is just Hugmug and myself, though, just for the. So you've gone into the kitchen. Hugmug's come with you, thinking that you're coming with, so he can show you the supplies. And it's underneath the kitchen sink. There is a fake panel underneath this kitchen sink that that Hugmug pulls back, and there appears to be 2 days worth of camping supplies for all of you.
What did you find, Huggy?
Some camping stuff. We can go camping.
Camping supplies. That's brilliant. Well done.
Oh yeah.
And amongst them, you find 2.5 days worth of rations, a full water skin that is fresh water, a bedroll, and there is a backpack for each of you. And it saddens you a little bit as you realize that there is another backpack. There are 6 people's worth of supplies here. There are only 5 of you. That's why it's 2.5 days worth of supplies each.
Can we carry the 6th? Or leave the contents of the 6th?
Yeah, I presume you'd split the rations within it
Okay.
amongst yourselves.
Did my search for any kind of sharp implement
It appears
to
that
replace my dagger go well?
It appears that all of the things in here have been destroyed by the flames. Unfortunately.
Ah.
Is there that deer that we brought? Is it?
Gone.
It's gone. Like they took it, or it's like charred.
As in that it has been taken.
Yeah, been taken. What about the
deer?
basil?
The what, sorry?
The basil
The winter
that
basil.
we got.
Oh, the basil. The jars are shattered across the floor, and it appears the herbs have succumbed to the flames.
And even if they didn't, there's now broken glass mixed in there, which is not.
Unfortunately, yes, there is broken glass all over the place.
And not even Volker can deal with that. Was this a multi-story building? Does this have multiple floors?
Yes.
Is there anything left of the floor above? Or is it completely collapsed in?
Yes. However, I would need you to make me a wisdom save to go up those stairs, as the upstairs floor are your bedrooms. and Helga's
And we'll
bedroom.
Okay.
So if you want to try and go up there, make me a wisdom check. Or
Marcel
make
will
me
go
a wisdom
upstairs to
save.
see if any of his stuff has survived. Wow. Wisdom save, so that would be just a straight wisdom save. Non-magical.
Mhm.
That's fine, I don't have a bonus to it anyway. Oh, that's a 22.
You
Nice.
move up to the stairwell and find yourself unable to take the first step.
As in, I'm physically prevented by something?
As in, you physically cannot make yourself put your foot down on that step.
What, because I'm stopping myself or something is
Yes.
preventing me?
You are stopping yourself.
Mm.
You are trying so desperately to go up those stairs and find yourself unable. As the visage goes through your mind of those charred rooms and seeing the little bedrooms that you've been living and sleeping in for years now, burnt to a crisp, makes you tear up a bit.
I take it I couldn't have saved that.
You could. The DC was very high. I can
Does
tell
anyone
you.
else want to go see if anything survived upstairs?
Not particularly.
I know my action figures are definitely gone, but
You feel
What do
something.
you do?
You've got. I'm assuming everybody's grabbed the supplies. Hugmug's handed them out.
Yeah.
Okay. Marcel, you feel something poking you in the back
Ah.
from your bag.
and he's going to take the bag off his back and open it.
It appears that there is a carved wooden replica of your favourite little figurine is in the bottom of the bag. And there is a little... You realise that each of these bags, like, subconsciously Hugmug is not intended to do this, but has handed out the backpacks based on who they would fit the most. So like the star covered backpack that looks all fat is like made of like this midnight blue material has been given to Florian and so on. And you notice that there is a little folded slip of paper in each of them. Yours is attached to this little figurine.
I'm going to take the bit of paper and read it.
And it says on it, "I love you, my little troublemaker. Be careful with yourself." In the usual cursive of Helga's handwriting.
Yes, matron. And he breaks down in tears.
It is at this point, I'm picturing of all of you, Scoria, I'm imagining you're the one holding it together the most, as I'm picturing you're the most hardened of the lot, because you've interacted with Helga a lot. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So I imagine that you're, like, processing this a little bit better than everyone else. Obviously still absolutely devastated, but the first thought on your mind, after realizing all this is here, Helga planned for a potential situation where this happens, because otherwise all of this stuff wouldn't have been conveniently hidden around the house. So she must have had some sort of knowledge about her presence being wanted by somebody, and that you have no idea where to go. Because whenever you've travelled somewhere, you've always gone with Helga, and she's always used some of her magic to conjure a little cart and horse, or cart and chocobo, to be more specific. So you guys have always been like playing card games in the back of the cart, So you've never really paid attention to where where the actual journey takes you. You're in the middle of nowhere without a lifeline.
Well, it's worse, though, isn't it? Because there's also people trying to kill us. You heard what this man said.
Yes.
So I guess we should stick away from the roads and stick to the
We are going to need
stick
to
to the
find
woodland.
I'm a bit scared.
It's okay, Hugmug. I'm with you. I will fight them off with my big stick.
Scoria wraps a wing around Micah.
I don't know what to do.
We can't stay here. Who knows? They might return thinking that we would come back here. I hate to say it, but we need to leave. We need to find shelter. And whilst, yes, staying in the woodland would be good, we can hunt for resources. It's still winter. We should find a town.
And as you're all listening to Scoria and you're mentally hyping yourselves up, you hear a whistling sound, and you realize that the winds outside are picking up. And the winds are whipping through the house because all of the windows are destroyed, and there are potholes in the walls and ceiling from where the destructive battle, however short it may have been, raged within here. This house will no longer be useful as a shelter for you. You are more than likely to freeze to death in here, and it is just as likely in here as it is out there.
Alright, everyone. I think you're supposed to go downhill when it's windy.
That would make sense, yes?
Yeah.
Don't they normally say to follow the river?
We would.
A lot of settlements
Is
are built.
follow the river downstream or upstream?
I think downstream. A lot of places are built around rivers, I think.
In that case, where is the nearest river?
I was gonna say, where's the nearest river?
Roll a history check for me.
History. It's a +2.
Can she get advantage because we're all trying to think of where the river is?
Unfortunately, history is something, because this is something from Scoria's memory. You are not able to help her on this check.
Okay.
8.
That's a success.
Hey.
You recall, and the only reason this is a success is because for you, this DC would be lower, as you have very much taken to avoiding putting your feet in this river at any given point during the autumn season as it gets a little cloudy, and you can't walk through it normally because that's when it's rapids season, which Helga absolutely adores because it means that she gets to watch the fish try and swim upstream, and that amuses her. For you, it's the last thing you want to be next to because it's rushing water, which means it has a likelihood of knocking you off your feet because it is quite aggressive surging. But you remember where it is.
Yes, I remember where the river is.
So, we follow the river to the nearest town. Stick together. Are you going to be okay with that, being so close to the water?
As long as we don't step into it.
Okay.
Is it
Especially
frozen now?
It is possible that it might be frozen, but it's also likely that it is not a thick layer of ice upon it. So it would be wise not to step into freezing cold water. You will sooner die, I think.
Well, let's go. There's nothing more for us here.
Hmm.
Bye home.
Mm,
And so,
this is such a sad departure. Hugmug's crying.
It's okay, Hugmug. We have each other.
But we don't have a home. Oh, Helga.
We'll find Helga, and then we'll come back here and we'll rebuild, and it'll be bigger than ever.
Rebuild it stronger.
Oh, why don't they do this?
We'll get the bastards who did this.
You can do this, Hugmug.
We don't worry, look.
Are we gonna die too?
So Marcel starts
Okay.
marching out the door.
okay.
Following and trying to gently nudge Hugmug with us.
Mocha?
Ming. I'm just nibbling on my tail a little bit as we go.
Okay.
Scoria has a wing wrapped around you.
You know it's bad when she's purposefully choosing to nibble her tail instead of nibbling your wing.
Instead of my tail.
Yeah.
How
Yeah, I've chosen
good
my
is-
tail.
How
Not
good is
even
Mocha's sense of
y'all's.
smell that she can detect food from?
Look at
What's the
you.
distance limit of that food detection?
Because you are downwind, Mocha's sense of smell relating to food would be very, very good right now.
Because I was going to say, what is the time of day?
It is about mid-afternoon, so like 2 p.m. roughly.
Is it a Sunday?
So round about lunchtime.
Mhm.
When people will be making food in a civilized location.
Okay.
We need to get Mocha food.
So
I'm
Mocha,
so
keep your nose to
hungry.
the air and see if you can smell any, maybe like fresh bread or something like that. It's about lunchtime, so that might help.
You can give it a go. I mean, I'm really, really hungry.
I've got one more apple.
Okay.
And Mocha, you're about to take the apple from him when the scent of warm bread and cheese hits your nose. It's very, very, very faint. Like you only notice it because it like gently drifts past you.
I'll
Wait,
get that.
But your nose catches the scent.
I smell bread and cheese somewhere. I think it's that way. I'm gonna point in the direction I think it's coming from.
Excellent. Well done, Mocha.
And Florian, Hugmug, Scoria. Of you three, who's feeling a little lucky?
What was the selection?
My house burnt down. I'm not feeling very lucky.
Okay, so between
I can love
Hugmug
you.
and Scoria then.
I'm feeling a bit lucky.
I think Scoria is feeling much more
Today's
lucky.
your lucky day,
That
kid.
check.
Here's a shiny penny.
Oh no, watch this be the nat one.
It's not happened yet, but it is waiting.
Do you
Gloria.
need me to roll something?
Yes, a sight-based perception check.
Not the nat one, thank God. It's 15.
You notice that the direction that Mocha is pointing is the exact same direction that the river is in.
Come on. That is the direction of the river. If we follow it, we should surely find wherever this smell of bread and cheese is coming from.
I guess we follow the bread.
Okay, so
Picture we're like sticking to, like following the river, but sticking to like the vegetation, sort of, where we're a bit more concealed.
yeah, so you begin your journey, traveling, and you spend the day traveling, heading off towards heading off into the blizzard. With the rather faint hope that you might find some sort of shelter. And as you're traveling down the river, most of the day passes. You're getting progressively colder and colder, and there is no sign. The scent of that bread, the scent of warm bread and cheese on the wind. The bread scent dissipates, but the cheese smell continues. And it gets a little stronger the further down the river you go, as you're following it downstream. Much to your dismay, however, you can see the sun setting.
We'd better think about making camp.
Before the sun sets.
Unfortunately for you, you happen to stumble upon a little clearing. However, much to your concern, you find what appears to be an old campfire that's very clearly been out for a couple days. At least on first inspection, until you realize that someone has purposefully covered this up with snow and put it out. Mocha, roll me a survival check, please.
Yes, sir. 17.
Whoever lit this fire was here about 2 or 3 hours ago. And you can see in the snow mostly clear hoof prints that are being slowly covered up by the intense wind.
Did they not mention the attacker being a moved deer?
They said something about antlers.
Antlers with hooves?
Atlas was killed. It is likely that this is.
Stop sneezing, you're giving us away.
The smell of the
Puts
air
a
is
giant
my
hand on
nose.
her mouth.
Hey,
Oof.
carry on, Scoria.
We do not know what the other people looked like, but it is also possible that they might have had a horse for transport.
So, I'm going to ask, as lovely DM, I'm going to ask you, as your players, are you going to try and spend the night here, in this little clearing, or are you going to try and push on?
How bad's the wind?
It's-
Quite bad.
Is there any places nearby that we've seen that are good for camping?
The only location that was decent for camping was an area further up, but that was about 2 hours ago.
Oh, so I guess we're staying here.
And you probably wouldn't have probably wouldn't have wanted. It likely wouldn't have been the most ideal place, because there was a burrow that you spotted about 5 minutes down the river from it. So you would have been in very close proximity to whatever was living in that burrow.
It's getting dark at this point, right?
Yes.
Do
Yeah,
we
we
know
need to-
the area well enough to know where we're going?
This is the furthest that you have been from this location since when you were found as a baby.
So, Marcel is going to pipe up, and say, yes, we should definitely stay here, because if we start traveling at night, we risk getting lost. And then I don't know where the hell we'd be.
We can keep watch throughout the night just in case whoever it is comes back.
Yes.
My mom doesn't like camping anymore.
So, Mocha,
Hello.
can you roll me a survival check for setting up camp, please?
Yes, sir.
Can I assist?
Uh-oh.
You may.
10.
Mocha, roll with advantage.
Is there enough wood
Oh,
left in this
advantage again.
campfire to relight it. or anything like that.
11. God, I rolled a 3 and a 4.
Yay!
Yay!
That's enough. You managed to successfully set up a camp. It's a bit thrown together, but you can only see so much in this dying light. Marcel, what were you saying about the campfire?
I was saying, is there an? Oh, it's already been done now.
No. Mocha has set up where you're sleeping.
Oh, okay. So, is
The
there
campfire's
enough wood
on
left
touch.
in this campfire to
Yes.
actually relight it?
As you're examining it, you realise that the embers have not fully died out yet.
In our survival pack, is there anything like a flint and steel for starting a campfire?
Yes. You also have your elemental orb spell, should you wish to use the fire variant of that to kickstart the flames.
Okay. Have we been given any advice? No, we wouldn't have been. Never mind. I'm gonna say, have we been given any advice against using magic when out on our own?
Roll a history check.
That is a 17.
If you're careful about it, you've been taught that if you're careful with when you're casting your spells, there shouldn't be any reason that you need to be afraid of using your magic, unless you're close to a civilization, or you are trying to hide from somebody that you know is actively hunting you. So, as far as you're aware, this will be a good exception.
So Marcel's going to be looking for some kindling for this fire. If it's very cold and it's blizzardy, the fire's going to require at least some kind of support to get going.
Mhm.
So looking at the trees around the clearing. How big's the clearing?
The clearing is about a 15-foot radius.
Okay, so looking at the trees, at the base of the trees, if there's any like dry grass or anything that's not been coated in snow.
No, there is not.
Nothing. Okay.
It is all dampened by the snowfall.
Do we have any cloth
Can
in the
oh
bags?
sorry, go on.
What are you saying, Agmo?
I was gonna say, can roll detect magic in the area to see if there's any like presence that we could figure out what was here.
Yeah, you can spend some time using detect magic. So you'll be spending 18 seconds doing that. That's the full 3 rounds. There's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so I
Okay.
just sit there and detect magic.
So whilst you are detecting, Marcel, what are you doing?
Is there any
Sorry?
cloth or anything in the packs?
Only what is on you, or what if you want to try and rip part of the fabric out of your bag to do so.
Would that create a hole in the bag?
Yes.
Not a good idea. Okay. So he will just, because it's elemental orb, it's a cantrip, he will just hold it on there until something starts to happen.
And you are very fortunate that it straight up without a problem. It's kind of
So-
weird, but
Taking some of the snow and patting it into a mound, the same way he was making fucking ice blocks earlier.
Mhm.
He's going to make a little wind shelter
little
for the
windbreak.
fire. Yeah, so it's like what's the word? Like a ditch fire.
yeah.
So yeah, a windbreak.
So as you're doing that, Hugmonk, you notice that there is a magical presence nearby. Aside from your family, you notice that there is a magical presence coming from Mocha in her bag.
Oh,
Oh, Mocha, what's in your bag?
Everyone else, but still put that in there.
Oh goodness, Mocha, your audio's a little.
You are sounding
I
very
think my
robotic, Mocha.
internet is for it, like
Oh,
not
no.
including, so just bear with me.
Okay.
Mocha is
Yeah.
currently-
All I
Yeah.
thought was bear with me. What?
Not gonna lie, I'm
In
not
his
understanding a
bag.
single word, and this is kind of hilarious.
I heard pair impact.
Are you referring to your pendant?
Yes.
Okay, so Mocha pulls out the pendant that she took off of one of the corpses in the house. And
It's
Hugmonk,
magical.
that is what is emitting the magical aura that you have detected.
It's
Just-
magic.
Magic. Is there something wrong with it?
You carry magic.
So you realize that the strength of the strength of the magic aura within this pendant that that Mocha is carrying is quite weak. So it's more than likely something akin to when, say for example, Helga would have made a little magical chessboard for you, so all the pieces stay connected to the board. Something as faint as that. So you imagine it's probably like a key, maybe like a key or some sort of. It might be to do with why it keeps changing color when the light moves on it differently. You're not sure. So
Might be cool magic. Maybe we're being watched.
you're not sure.
Ogmod don't like camping.
Can all of you make me a saving throw against extreme cold?
Fine, not
I
enough.
could certainly try.
It should be a flat +0 for all of you. So basically, you're rolling a d20.
It's not like a con or something.
No. In this case, it is just an straight up extreme cold save.
Green gold. Oh,
That one.
okay.
I'm coming for you, that one. Come on, let's go.
I got a nat 1.
Ah!
Oh.
That's not one of the campaigns. Fucking go.
I got a nat 1 as well.
Oh, I will get that one.
You know what? There were like there have been like 5 or 6 nat 20s so far, so it had to
It was
happen.
great.
Yeah, I went from the nat 20 to the nat 1. It had to
Yeah,
happen.
like anything else. Anything else.
think
Florian
winning, I
takes
said
1d
winning.
1d4 cold damage and dies on the spot.
Yeah, that's like half my health.
Okay, so Florian, what did you roll? Was it nat 1? It was
Natural
nat
1.
1, wasn't it?
It was a nat 1.
You take 2 ice damage from the bitter
Ouchie,
cold.
that's 25% of my health.
Hugmug, what did you roll? Was it nat 1 as well?
Yes.
4 ice damage as the bitter cold rips at you.
Jeez.
Oh, so it is like 25%. Okay.
12.
4 ice damage as the cold gnaws at you. Mocha,
16.
you somehow manage to stay warm enough to not be harmed by the cold, but you are shivering underneath Scoria's wing. And Scoria, what did you roll?
12.
4 ice damage as the bitter chill of the night rips through. And
Do we sleep?
yes, so you settle down to rest, and
Some of us are keeping watch for a bit.
yeah, so you
We switch around.
you try your best to keep watch, but the bitter cold means you end up around that campfire, and the moment you start moving away from it, it's like somebody has dragged a knife through your body. It is piercingly cold because of the wind, and none of you rest well. The bitter chill of the night, the pain of the cold itself, the rather traumatic event of losing everything, and the pondering of the what ifs as to whether or not Helga is okay, keep you restless. And so you awaken the next day. The bitter cold continues.
Is everyone okay?
Yes.
No.
Just about.
It's so
I hate
cold.
camping.
Let us eat and continue.
So I'll grab some nearby sticks to feed the fire a little bit so they have something to keep them warm while they're eating.
Unironically,
Has the fire stayed up?
the fire is still roaring comfortably.
It's because of magical fire.
No. Because the firewood that's there hasn't burnt up at all.
Is it because the wood's damp?
No.
History?
The magic winter
Investigation?
fairy refilled our firewood when we weren't looking.
Is it? It's not. You said it's not magical.
It's not magical. Wait, so it didn't ping up on Hugmug's detect magic. If you want, you can detect magic again.
Did my windbreak work very well?
Your windbreak worked perfectly.
It's fantastic.
Hugmug, do you want to use detect magic on the fire?
Oh, I can use detect magic.
Okay, so you spend a little bit of time using detect magic, and it pings on the spell
Does it register to my magic?
on the wood. It appears that somebody has enchanted these logs to be protected from actually burning and being damaged for an extended period. As you notice, the logs are only now starting to char and burn.
The logs are magic. We need to leave.
Well, every second we stay here is burning daylight, so heat up and we better get moving.
Hopefully, next village is nearby.
Can you still smell anything? Anything, Mocha?
Let's see. Can I smell anything?
You sniff the air, and you can smell bacon.
Yeah, like
fresh
bacon, meat, or something.
bacon.
I smell bacon somewhere. It's that way, I think.
Confirmed with civilization, because that means breakfast.
Can each of you please remove one of your day trail rations, please? So
Yeah.
of your rations, they're in your equipment page. Please remove one.
Don't like that.
Equipment. 1 day of rations.
Don't like that.
Day trail rations?
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think
We
so.
now have 1 day.
So
Mm.
you end up.
We also have firewood.
You do.
Need to check equipment page.
This will be something that you get. You end up using a lot more. Don't worry. So you end up traveling throughout the day, following the river, and nothing eventful happens over the 8 hours that you're traveling. Nothing.
We're not any closer.
You do not appear to be any closer, but you're.
Do we find any food by the side while we're walking?
No,
Is there any fish swimming through the river?
it does not appear so.
Can I take a closer look?
Yeah,
I don't know how far away we are from the river. So.
you're a solid. I'd say like a solid 5 to 10 feet away from the riverbank, keeping a respectful distance for Scorio's sake.
So Marcel's going to climb up the riverbank and have a close look to see if he can see any fish running through the river.
Dexterity saving throw, please.
That's a fail.
It's a nat 1.
No, it's 3.
It's a 3. For what total?
Oh no.
Does the bank collapse because it's snow?
You've clicked past your saves page. Scroll up. There you go.
Oh, that's 10.
You end up slipping, and your bottom
Yes.
half lands in the water, but you are fortunate enough that you managed to catch your balance before the whole of you is submerged.
Oh god, that's cold.
It is
No.
freezing.
Oh. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Just keep moving.
So, are you going to continue traveling after 8 hours? You can choose to stop and eat. That will allow you to continue traveling for a bit longer.
What's the time?
Let's say you got up at like 8, so about 2 or 3 o'clock. You can keep traveling, but
How
you
hungry are
will
we?
run. You didn't have dinner the night before the house was taken down, and your rations only filled so much of that. You've not had breakfast, you've not had lunch, so you're probably quite hungry at this point. I imagine Mocha has audibly been complaining for the last hour or so.
Very
I'm
hungry.
just like pulling on my jacket, asking if I have any more apples.
Which you do not.
I guess we better stop.
And so you stop by the riverbank, as there is a small rocky outcrop about 5 minutes down the way that you couldn't see prior, as there is a visible dip down, because hill. Brain cells, please, come on, words. There's a visible dip because of a hill. You sit by this little rocky outcrop and make lunch. And I say make lunch. You have lunch, so please set your rations to 0
Uh-oh.
Oh,
as you consume what is left of the rations. It's like some dried fruit, bits of cured meat, like types of jerky.
can
And
I, after we eat,
Yeah.
if there's like a tree nearby that's not too high up, but I want to see if I can climb a bit high and see if I can see a town, food.
Make me an acrobatics check with disadvantage because the branches will be slippery.
Okay. Acrobatics check. Okay. Acrobatics. Okay. Okay. 15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, so you managed to rather expertly climb up the tree. 2 seconds. So you managed to climb up without too much difficulty, and you're quite fortunate in this regard. As you get up high enough, like you can feel the branches kind of groaning underneath you as you get up to that about as high as you can with your own weight.
You get ready to catch.
And you see the faint signs of smoke in the distance. The same that looks almost identical to the little puffs of smoke that would come out of the chimney back in your home when you guys were foraging out in November.
You
Dare
see
I look in
anything?
the opposite direction and see if I can see our house?
There
Probably
is
not.
no visible sign of it.
I see. I think there's maybe a house over there.
Maybe a house. We're saved! How far does it seem?
How far does it seem?
Roll a navigate check.
Navigate check. I don't know if I have good
Navigate.
You're an astrologian. You should
I'm
have
very
pretty
good to
high.
navigate. Oh, don't I have a spell? No, that's just no direction. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so that'll tell you what direction north is.
16.
16.
No, wait, 18.
18. Okay. So you reckon that if you were to consistently keep traveling from where you are now, you might be able to get there. You might be able to get there about an hour or two before midnight.
We might be able to get there if we travel until like 11.
Well, we have no more rations left.
You've had no luck catching anything on the way down.
We would have been taught foraging skills, right?
Yep.
So
But it's
we would
winter.
know what. Yeah, but we would know what. But there would be bugs around still. Not many, but
You would think.
Not
Unfortunately
And
not.
Frogs isn't gonna fill up.
It appears that
Mocha.
the wildlife here has gotten there before you have, because it is hibernation season, meaning that everything that was here that could have been harvested has clear signs of animals having harvested before you.
Oh, are there like rabbit holes?
They are empty. Each one you have seen so far has been emptied out, and is filled with either been like on the borderline of being filled with snow, or has been very clearly empty of its occupant for a while.
Okay, cool.
God, why did this all have to happen in the worst winter in 100 fucking years?
So,
Well, we won't last long without food, not in this cold. So I guess we have to just go for
We
it.
go until we get there.
I can do my best to keep us warm, but yeah, I don't see any other options. Corey, what do you think?
I can make torchlight, but I don't think it's warm.
We just gotta go. We need to get somewhere. House is good.
so are you going to
All right,
continue?
let's go.
I guess we push on for the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is this a party-wide consensus?
The house, the bread, hopefully in the same direction, or the bacon now.
Let
Mokrans?
us
Not anymore.
hope that the occupants are
Okay.
willing.
So, you push on. Much to the displeasure, as the bitingly cold winds pick up. And the further downstream you get, the less dense the forest around you is, meaning the winds are a lot harsher.
It's gonna be soft pack snow as well, because it's like a blizzard.
Oh yes.
So it's gonna be extremely hard to walk through.
So not only is it tough to walk through, but it is soaking into your clothes. You are, by hour 4 of travelling, you are all dripping wet, as the soft snow has melted thanks to your body temperature, and you are shivering.
Yeah.
You are
I hate
freezing.
losing my house and my
Oh, guys,
bedroom and my rations all in the one day.
We can make it. Just have to keep going.
Please
We
make me
have to
another.
keep going.
Make me another extreme cold check.
Go on.
Oh my god, what the hell?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Now I've got the nat one curse.
Yippee!
I
contagious.
escaped the Nat 1 curse to get a 2.
Hey!
I stay with you.
Wow.
This
Oh my
dice
god!
wants me dead. Can
Sorry,
I cast... Actually, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so Florian,
How much damage?
what did you roll?
2.
2. Okay, yeah, I forget there's not a bonus here.
Mhm.
You take 5 ice damage.
Okay. That I have 6. Okay. I will... Can I cure to heal myself?
You certainly can attempt to. Your hands are
Okay.
shivering.
I will cast cure.
Make me a concentration check, please.
Okay, what is that?
Basically a straight con check. It'll be on the if you look on your
Great.
combat page, there is a little section for concentration check bonus.
2. Okay.
If you
Big
click,
number.
if it helps, and you need to find something, if you just click on my little token, it will show you where I'm looking.
Okay, my evil dice has changed its tune. So natural 20 plus 2.
You successfully managed to cast the spell.
Okay, cool. 1d6 plus casting
Three.
modifier
If you
plus
look
1
it up
plus
on the
cast.
spell.
So,
Yeah.
oh right, and I forgot we have the cool spell thing. Cure. 1d6 plus 3. I will just put that in the chat because I cannot be bothered to find a d6.
Don't blame you.
Come on, big number. Give it to me. Okay. 5. Okay.
Back to where you were. Hugmug.
Yep.
What was your extreme cold check?
So, you know, as someone who's a bear hybrid, you would think that I've got a bit more resilience to this cold.
But you are also a large silhouette, so there is more surface area.
Yeah, you have a higher surface area.
So what did you roll?
Get fucked
A
by
3.
a surface area to
A
volume
3.
ratio a bit.
You take
Hugmug freezes to death.
you take
And that is
7
the end
points
of
of ice
Hugmug.
damage.
7!
This dice is being very, very interesting. Marcel, what did you roll?
19 on the dice.
19. 4 ice damage.
Oh, so you're rolling.
Oh, I am.
Oh my god, I thought it was like a percent thing.
Oh, no. I'm rolling.
I could have been gone there.
Oh, 100%.
I have 1 HP.
Okay,
Mocha.
I'll heal you.
Yeah, I got that one plus 2.
11 ice damage.
11? Best
Are you down?
mate, I'm on 1 HP.
Why is this thing
Welcome to
getting
the
us up to
club.
1?
Because apparently this dice just hates you.
Oh,
No,
really?
it's
Like-
okay.
Hate us
It
because we're
can't
dead.
hate me more than I hate myself.
Well,
Apparently it does.
it's definitely trying to have a competition with you, I think.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
It's
that
edging.
was the highest it's rolled so far.
I've got,
Oh,
got
for
to build a
fuck's
critical
sake!
hit
You
on
what are you rolling, mate? What are you rolling?
A dice.
Yeah, which
Okay.
one?
Scoria.
Dice!
A D100.
Scoria, what did you roll?
16.
9 ice damage. Fucking, what is with you right now?
You want to give me 12?
Okay, so
Maybe.
how many people are in critical or in one? On one?
Everybody that is not you.
I only have 3 more MP.
Stay together. We can huddle for once.
So,
Does anyone else have cure?
yes.
No.
One other person has cure.
Marcel.
But each
Marcel.
time you try and cast the spell, as of this point onwards, you will need to make a concentration check. Because you are
If
so
I fail
cold,
the concentration check,
you lose
will
the
I?
MP.
I lose. Oh my days.
So,
I'm guessing elemental orb fire would not produce enough fire to stave off the cold damage.
no. As of this point, you're effectively walking in the middle of an Arctic blizzard. So you have 2 options. You can take some time to stop here and heal yourselves, and run the risk of getting hit by another wave of this cold front, or you can attempt to press on and try and find the shelter before the cold takes your lives.
How bad
Maybe
is
the
the
blizzard.
blizzard right now? Can we even see the shelter we're aiming for anymore?
You're struggling, but
Visibility drops a lot, especially if the wind is
Yes.
in your face.
you are following the stream. You're following this river downstream still.
Right.
And from what Florian had figured out earlier, if you stick to your path, you should get there before midnight.
What does the time appear to be now?
You can't tell, it's too dark and your vision's too obscured for you to be able to see any sort of clear sign. There's no stars above you. It's just,
Would torchlight help?
it would actually make visibility worse, because you are bringing light into what is essentially a snowstorm, which will reflect all the light. Yeah, so you'll basically be like a, when it's like foggy nights and they've got boat lights, but it's not a strong enough light. essentially that. You would be more than likely blinding yourselves than anything.
Could we do this Arctic Explorer style and try and make a hole in the snow and harden the snow a bit just to get out of the wind?
It does not appear that the ground underneath you is deep enough for that. In
We
the
have
time
no
it would
choice
take
but to
you,
press on.
in the time it would take you to dig that hole, you would have to deal with another blast of this cold.
And another saving throw.
Because you are all soaking wet and slowly freezing to death as of this point.
Who's the lowest on health?
I'm
Everybody that is not
well.
Marcel or Florian. So you have 6, 1, 2, 1, 1.
Who has the highest maximum? Who has the lowest maximum health?
Florian.
I'll try and heal Florian while we're walking.
Oh,
He's on
don't.
6
I'm
health.
on like 6 health
Oh, okay.
points now. So
So
that's enough.
if you want to heal, can you tell me who you're healing and what your concentration check is, please?
So everyone, apart from me and Florian, is on 1, right?
Death's Door.
Yeah, and you're on 2.
If someone falls unconscious, though, Hugmug could then carry them to the location. Whereas if Hugmug falls unconscious,
They're gonna have to drag you through the snow.
good luck.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Florian digs underneath you and just fucking hauls you along.
So if I have to, make my case to be healed, this is my case.
Yeah.
But you gotta make it in character.
Yeah, because you guys
Well,
are
you know-
standing in the middle of the snowstorm
If you
discussing this.
you should heal me, because if I go unconscious, you are never getting me home. I will die. I hate camping.
What's
But
your
I could
concentration
carry
check?
someone to safety.
What's the bonus?
Look
for
at
it?
your combat page, or simply put, you see my little icon on your character sheet. Please just click that now.
Icon?
Yeah, I'll show you where I'm looking.
17.
You succeed, despite the fact that your hands are shaking, and you are barely able to keep your hands still long enough. You are able to cast the cure spell.
Let's just keep going.
How many hit points does it heal?
Find out.
Use the spell counter.
Ooh.
Roll big. Roll big. Big number. Big number. Big number. I'm chanting for good luck. Big number. Big number.
15.
Big number. Holy shit.
15.
15?
So you're back at full hit points.
I have a 1d6
What's
plus
up?
13.
Red mage moment.
Oh god. Is it possible for me to make some sort of balm to help?
No, unfortunately not. I've also removed that MP point from you for you. So, are you pressing on?
Yes.
Pushing
yes.
forward. I'll save what's left of my MP for if someone goes down.
Okay. So
Down.
you push
Okay.
on. The cold night's whistling and ripping through you, and you are on death's door. All of you feel like the next if you do not get inside before the next cold front hits, that might just be it. You may never see Helga again. You are consumed with this fear and despair, not just because where is your mother? Where is your matron? But you're alone. You're scared. It's dark. It's cold. You're struggling to feel your fingertips at this point. The cold has set in full.
Have to push on. Have to save matron.
And much to your joy, you emerge from the forest, and the snow seems to have alleviated ever so slightly as you enter the eye of the storm. And down the hill, you notice that nearby you, there are a couple of small shovels. As you've arrived on a piece of farmland, and you can see in the distance
Civilization.
there is a very large barn and what appears to be a building with a couple of lights on. This doesn't appear to be a civilization per se, but more someone's home and their own farm a little ways out from what may be another village, you're not sure. But there are lights on in this house. Your salvation could be just moments away.
Do we have the strength to get there?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so we'll push on.
You push on?
I think we should just sleep in the barn, and then it'll be warm in there because the animals.
Food.
But we haven't got permission.
They make a good case.
Permission does not matter when your lives are on the line. You do
Now
first.
understand.
Apologize later.
So
Let us
it's
beg for shelter.
So, are you going to sneak into the barn and try and essentially break and enter?
Is there a
Oh,
lock on the barn?
you know when you say it like that.
Just go knock
Maybe
on
we
the
should.
door.
Yes. So there is the. So it appears to be some sort of ranch. Would be the best way of describing this place. It's a big barn, farmland, and what appears to be a big porch that leads this big old barn, like big old farmhouse.
Okay.
And you notice at the front door, there is a sign that is flailing about a little bit in the wind, but you can just about read it. Can any of you read Sylvan?
No.
I do believe at least one of you
No.
reads Sylvan. I might be wrong.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
Yay!
Yeah, I was gonna say.
so Marcel, you notice that the sign says Bell's Creamery.
It says Bell's Creamery. I'm going to knock on the door.
Who's knocking?
Bell sounds friendly.
No,
I'll come with the Marcel.
Okay.
Okay,
So you go
I'll
up
get
on
my
the porch.
biggest,
Scoria
saddest cat
knock.
eyes.
Scoria, as you knock, the door opens. And you can hear somebody inside.
As in, like, the door opens as you knock, as opposed to they're
So
opening the door.
she knocks on the door and the door creaks open.
Hello?
About 45 degrees.
Anybody here?
And you can hear...
You need help?
Are you going inside?
Yes.
Is everybody following?
Yes.
Our lives are on the line.
So you realise
I
that...
will only follow once everyone else is in.
Okay, so Scoria is last in. So you go inside, and you hear this loud howling noise as you realise you've just avoided the next cold front that could have taken your lives. You are soaking wet, freezing, and barely able to keep yourself still. And you can hear this clanging about in the other room.
Go towards the noise that I can hear.
And you realise that you're walking up to a counter. You appear to have entered a shop counter. Or by a shop counter, sorry.
Is there like a little portobello? Is there like a little portobello to get the
Yes,
collect
there
attention?
is.
Marcel is going to smash the fuck out of this portobello with his hand over and over and over again.
So you only managed to get about 2 or 3 taps in because you're trying to move, but you have lost some of your motor control of your hands. So you get 3 dings. And you hear this shuffling about. And through this doorway, a large Bovian woman who even towers over Hugmug as well, with a very large, she looks like an hourglass if somebody had tried to stuff oranges in the top and bottom part of the hourglass. She is very, very tall, very curvy, and very powerful.
And Marcel
In
is
frame.
basically slumped over the counter at this point, and is just like raises his head a bit and just goes, "Hello."
And she looks mortified upon seeing you all. Oh my gosh! How come you kids are out so late at night? Where's your ma?
Hello, we are friendly. We our house burnt down.
And you don't get another word out after that point, as you can see her shed genuine tears as she comes around the counter and basically grab, like, with this massive fleece. And much to your surprise, including Hugmug, she picks all 5 of you up off of the ground in this fleece that is the most divine thing you've felt the whole night. It is so warm. She picks you up in a bundle and carries you through to the other room, placing you by this big, roaring open fireplace that just soothes
Fire.
your soul. Oh gosh. Yeah, well, you kids are lucky that you came. I was just about to head off to bed. I just got Betsy into the barn.
We're lucky if we made it. The final push.
Oh
Is
gosh.
everybody okay?
Gosh.
He's like
I'm
looking
really
around
hungry
everybody.
and tired.
And the moment that you say the word hungry, she lights up. You're hungry? Oh gosh, well I can sort that out.
Please.
You kids ain't allergic to anything, are you?
No.
That
Not
I know
anymore.
of.
I don't think so.
And she smiles. Hey, how about you, this might be a little personal, but why don't you kick your clothes off? Put them by the fire. There's a couple.
Whoa!
Hey. And she then
Whoa.
points to these large, like,
How?
dressing
You
gowns.
can either strip or you can freeze to death in freezing cold, wet clothes.
And she points to a bundle of dressing gowns that are bundled up. Like, it seems like it's almost as though categorically larger in size. It's almost comical, but it's like you found salvation.
Marcel immediately strips off of his clothes and goes and tries to warm himself up.
Yeah, Hugmug puts on his perfectly sized, perfectly fitted clothes and warms himself up.
Yeah, strangely enough, you all managed to find them in your size, and they're made of this very soft wool. And you realize they've been hand knitted. As there's a sweet little, like, heart-shaped stamp on the labels inside them. As she comes back with these big steaming bowls of what appears to be some sort of beef stew with noodles. You are given a fork each, given a bowl each, and are rested by the fire. And as she sits down and joins you. Though she herself does not have a bowl. She is just making sure that you're all okay and everybody is well rested. So, gosh, what happened to you? Your house burned down, what? It's okay, you can share with Mama Belle.
Have you ever met Helga?
Well, she ponders for a moment. Gosh. Can you tell me more about it? Like what she looks like? Hair color?
Scoria will give a description because I totally know what Matron looks like. Yes.
Would you like a reminder?
Yeah.
Marcel is not paying any attention to what's happening. He's just watching his bowl.
Marcel's world is
warm his
currently
fingers.
My bowl is already empty.
She's a rabbit folk. She's taller than me.
Everyone's told.
She nods.
She's
I
blonde.
can't find it. It's buried amongst other reference images. Thank you.
I've got it.
Oh, there we go.
So, as you're describing her, her eyes light up. Oh, yeah, the person. She used to come down to my shop every now and again to get these big fresh loaves of bread. and she pulls out from a shelf, or basically off the shelf next to a closed window, this fresh loaf these fresh loaves that are steaming. They appear to be like large sourdough buns, and she hands them to you, distributing them out.
Without meaning to, Marcel snatches it out of her hand.
And she smiles at you.
And
Oh,
immediately begins dipping it in his soup.
I really feel it.
Helga, she was our matron.
Well, I'd imagine.
It's pretty obvious considering that it was looks alike.
I mean, it was that, or I was gonna say she certainly seems to know her taste in men, but that sounds almost insulting, so I shouldn't say stuff like that.
Earlier today, not today, it was yesterday. We were out gathering food when the alarm system went off. She got us into a safe location beneath the floor in our house. When these men came in, they Helga put up a fight, but they took her in the end and burnt the place down.
She looks utterly mortified as you say this, and ponders for a moment. So what you're saying is your ma got taken by bandits?
That's the long and short of it, yes.
Well,
Oh,
I don't think that was the majority of them appeared to be simple bandits. They refer to a leader as Archbishop Lux.
she does not seem to have any sort of familiarity with the name.
Do you recognize the symbol? And he's going to basically give like a nudge to Hugmug to show her the
It's not
yeah,
Hugmug
sorry,
who has it.
sorry,
the
it's
symbol.
Mocha, isn't it?
Yep,
has
it
it?
is
Yeah.
Mocha who holds it.
Okay, he's going to nudge Mocha to show her the pendant.
Oh yeah, I forgot you put that up of one of the bandits.
And Mocha seems a little bit too invested in the bowl of stew
I'm
that
going
she is
to
consuming.
basically just take it out of her bucket because she's probably not even going to notice.
So you take it out of the bag and produce it, and Belle looks at it, ponders. I can't say that I recognize it, darling.
It's
That
magic
is
as well.
alright.
We do not know what it does.
It seems a bit beyond her. All I know is you're lucky you found the house.
Yeah.
A couple more minutes and we'd have been gone.
Well, if you're happy staying here for the night, then you're more than welcome to.
Can we?
I couldn't in good conscience send a group of kids out to their deaths.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And as you're expressing your joy, she has a moment of cuteness aggression, picks you up and just gives you the most loving squeeze.
How many times did my back pop?
It doesn't,
Okay, it doesn't.
but she seems to have a very motherly aura about her.
Can I have a hug?
Of course, I don't see why not. Come here. And she crouches down and picks you up with the other arm. And she is a very strong woman. Like, you don't even need to... You don't need to guess it, you can see it. It is painfully obvious that she is built like a unit. She may look like very busty, very wide, but that is backed up by a sheer amount of muscle and power behind her. And she has you in one arm and Marcel in the other. Don't you want to make perception checks? Just to see to have a look at the surroundings.
20.
Okay. Go straight into Mocha with that one.
I am perceiving, because my stomach is now not full still, but it's more full than it was.
22 from Scoria.
So, Scoria and Mocha, you're looking around. But you're looking around, and Mocha, you notice that this living room you're in seems way too large for just one person. Like, this is a massive roaring fireplace, and you can see like different indents in the sofa. Like this massive sofa behind you that you're looking at, and there are loads of different indents and grooves in it that are definitely not bell-shaped. We'll put it that way. And Scoria, your attention is brought to a framed image. Of what's very clearly Belle, and eight other Bovians that all share a striking resemblance to Belle. All varying degrees of younger than her. And after a little while, she puts Marcel and Florian back down. Bless you.
Thank you.
And stands up. So, darlings, would you like me to go and sort out a bed for you? Gosh, you must be awful tired.
That would be so kind.
I could sleep right here.
She smiles. I mean, if you want to sleep right here, I could bring some pillows down.
I'm so tired.
And you can see the expression on her face. It looks like her heart is breaking seeing you in this state. And she disappears, and you can hear a little bit of struggling upstairs. And then you see her come down with this enormous duvet that is big enough that it covers the floor twice over.
Wow.
And a unhealthy number of pillows.
We're gonna burrito.
And she
Nest.
nests you all.
Rolls up like a burrito or a
She
fucking
doesn't
cigar.
roll you up. She lays it on the floor. And lays it on the floor, so you guys can lay on top of it. And you get a fun little slide as she manhandles it and pulls it across the floor, sliding you with it. Before you pulling these what appear to be like little zips on this duvet that separate it off into sections, almost like a you know, when it's like, I'll take one of these tabs off with a bit of paper for like lessons and stuff. Kind of separates out like that. So you've each got like a section of the duvet to nestle up in by the fire. She puts.
Bro, I need one of these IRL.
And she lets you settle down. Is there anything else I can get you?
Can I have a second serving, please?
Of course, darling. No, not a problem. And she comes back with another bowl.
Me too.
Yeah?
Used a lot of energy.
Oh, okay. Anyone else want a second serving while I'm out there?
Well, you know, I won't turn it down.
Florian is already asleep.
Oh. And she looks over at Scoria. You're being awful quiet. You want another bowl, or? Is there something I can get you?
I am perfectly fine. Do not worry.
All right.
Thank you.
She smiles at you. Before going and grabbing another serving for those who wanted another. And so you You end up eating that, and a heavy tiredness rolls over you as Belle takes the bowls from you and takes them through to the other room. Do you imagine it's probably her kitchen?
I miss home.
We don't have any kind of frostbite, do we?
No, you are very fortunate.
Marcel's checking himself over for any kinds of damage from the cold.
So you end up. There is still a feeling of longing in your hearts for home, but for now, that feeling of sleep is just pulling you under. No matter how hard you try to fight it, you're just so comfortable. You feel safe. Protected. And weirdly comfortable. Like... and you end up drifting off into the most restful sleep. Like, it almost feels like you're back home again. Kind of sleep. And so, the next morning rolls around. And you wake up, the birds are you can hear the birds tweeting, and it's a very comfortable feeling. You've fully recovered your health and your magic points. Please top your health bars back up to full.
Yay, we lived. Just barely.
Would have been a short campaign, wouldn't it?
Oh, now it is.
It's a really sad campaign.
Marcel, do you want to top your hit points and then peer back up?
Oh, yes, sorry.
And in the morning, you're all nestled up, bundled together, feeling really happy and comfortable. You can hear the roaring of the winds outside, and two voices in the room across. One that you recognize, and a much deeper, more baritone voice that you do not recognize. Now, come on! I told you. You need to go. You need to go and get this sorted out. Betsy's gonna have calves in the winter. Come on, you're supposed to go and get the feed for him. Hey, I don't take kindly to that. I did my best. Well, darling, if they didn't have any left in the market, I guess that makes sense. Oh, right. And you can hear her approaching. She pops her head around the door. Morning, kiddos. How's everybody doing?
Hello. Doesn't raise his head, just like
What
waits.
do you mean?
I'm imagining everybody is varying levels of burritoed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're all in one big pile.
Good building.
Don't say burrito, I'll try to like eat the blanket.
And so she crouches down. And even then, like, she's still like she's very clearly trying to make herself smaller to be at your size. But she unintentionally makes herself look bigger by crouching down.
She could never be my size.
She'd have to be like crawling.
The mini spell exists.
Minimize.
You would have to mini her.
Even then, she's
And
still...
enlarge me
It's
at
like,
the same time.
finally they're at the same height. No.
Yep. That's
So...
what it'll take.
You're it. So she crouches down. Is everybody doing okay? Let me see your fingies. Come on. Show Mama Belle your fingers.
Oh, okay.
And
Gloria wiggles her fingers out.
so
Oh, worms. No.
she checks over your hands. Gosh, nobody's got frostbite. That's great.
Yay.
Hope me and my son didn't wake any of you when he came in this morning.
No.
Slam the door.
Everything's fine.
It is alright.
How are your bellies? Feeling hungry?
Better than I have been.
You want breakfast?
Yes, please.
Yes.
This one is
Ooh,
really
yum.
angry.
Yeah, she's always
Boy.
hungry.
Patty mocha.
Oh, and are any of you tea, coffee, hot chocolate drinkers?
Ooh, tea.
I could go for some tea as well.
Ooh, some tea.
Definitely coffee for me.
And what about you, Sugar? And she looks at Mocha. You want coffee after your namesake, or?
I think I've drunk too much of it, but I'll give it a go.
Well, okay then. And she gets up and goes into the other room, and you can hear a kettle boiling. As you find your clothes are completely dried and have not been damaged by the storm. Very fortunate.
Also takes off of his bed clothes and starts trying to put on his regular clothes again.
They fit nice and comfortably. The fire itself has died down quite a lot. It's just embers at this point. And you can hear Belle call from the other room. When you guys are ready to get up and come through, dinner will be what may feel like dinner. We'll be ready for you when you come through. And you can hear the sizzling and the smell of bacon and sausage and some other meat that you're not quite familiar with, but smells just as delicious. It just hits your nose.
You know, like in cartoons, where like the aroma comes along, it forms a hand and is like beckoning,
Yes.
and it goes under your nose and just carries you into the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
With Marcel. How about everybody else?
Ooh, the
Dorian
sweet,
puts his
sweet
hat
smell.
on and then goes into the kitchen.
Is it safe to assume that everyone's making their way into the kitchen
Yes.
one
Yep.
at a time?
After dressing.
Yeah.
You'll go butt naked into the kitchen.
And as you enter, you are greeted with a face you are not familiar with. By the way, I should probably share what Belle actually looks like, because I haven't posted her icon for you. This is where I actually have to go find her again. Oh, I just spotted the fucking Helga icon I scrolled past earlier. Fucking... There
Oopsie daisy.
you go. So that's what Helga looks like.
Mom.
You found
fucking
Damn, she
Helga.
fat.
Ow. Oh my god, brain cells. I'm sorry. I'm so in character right now.
You're welcome.
I was like,
Let me add
oh, I
that to
found
my-
Helga. I found Helga,
I have
and then...
Scoria's
There you go, campaign
artwork.
over. Helga's found.
So this is what Belle looks like. And this is the face that you're met with, but you don't have a name for. But he's just there. Let me scroll up, because I have... This is... Okay, you. And this is the face that you're met with, sitting up at the table, in what appears to be overalls and a plaid jacket. As you're all sitting up at the table, and he is just as large as his mother, as the two share a striking resemblance with one another.
Hello, ich bin Marcel. Nice to meet you.
Well, howdy. Name's Mason. Pleasure to meet you. And he takes your hand with a very firm grip and shakes it.
You are very strong.
That I sure am. Just like Ma. And he flexes.
And Marcel just blinks.
I'm Florian.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Hugmog.
Lovely to meet you too.
And he ends up, like, individually coming around and shaking your hands as you introduce yourselves.
Ow, ow,
Tiny,
ow, ow,
tiny
ow.
little hand.
He has surprisingly soft hands. They're calloused. Like, he very clearly works with some sort of rough material, but they're surprisingly smooth. Well, it's just as well that Mima found you last night when she did. That cold front was not fun to deal with out in the carriage.
Yeah, no, we were totally going to die.
Well, that's just terrible.
Yeah, we were out there for like
2 days?
2 days?
Yeah, 2 days. And he looks
Okay,
mortified
company.
at this. Well, good lord, that's terrible. Well, under the Olympia name, you ain't gonna have to worry about your safety. Ain't that right, Mima? Yeah, sugar. Just calm down a little. They've just woken up. Oh, sorry. And as you sit up at the table,
Your kindness is very appreciated.
it's perfectly fine, sweetheart. I don't have a bad bone in my body. I could not leave you kids out in the cold. It'd be awful. I could never live with myself. And she gets a large cushion from the other room for Florian to sit on, so he's actually level with the table.
A very large cushion.
Yeah, well, this is a very big table, and most of you are just about the right height. Florian's like half a foot off. the
Forget
actual
I'm like
table
one
level.
of the tallest people here.
Yeah, second Hugmug,
I know, but that's Hugmug to be fair. How tall is Hugmug?
7'3",
Fucking hell.
big boy.
Very tall. He's a big boy.
He's
And-
a large lad.
So breakfast is served, and it's a large portion of sausages, bacon, eggs, what appears to be some tomatoes. They look They look fresh and ripe. They have like a slight. Should not have looked at the chat at that time. What appears to be like
Oh god. The high chair.
yeah.
Is the barrier there as well?
No.
Oh.
But there's a whole
Do you mean
like
a dummy, Florian?
there's a whole collection of breakfast foods on this plate. And she hands the plates out, and you watch as Mason basically thanks her and starts devouring the plate.
Wait, they're eating the plate?
Not the plate itself, but
Cross, cross.
like the contents
The
of
food.
the plate.
Okay.
Ah.
Don't think about it.
And Belle sits down and starts very, very politely eating her food. And who has the highest passive perception?
Not me. Like 8 or something.
Can everybody roll me sight-based perception check, please?
Perception?
Where is
No, I don't want to open that.
Oh, for
I don't wanna
fuck's
open
sake.
my cost of-
a sight-based perception? Okay.
Yes. I actually have to specify.
Okay.
Everybody rolled?
Yes.
Sweet. Florian.
6.
Okay. Hugmug.
I'm just seeing my food.
Fair. Hugmug.
Wait, how do I Find out if it's sight or not. Like,
It's simple.
sorry,
It's literally just it's perception. The only different reason why I'm specifying it's sight is because some of the party members have like advantage if it's smell or hearing based.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, because I have advantage if it's smell, but I couldn't figure out where I would find out anything else.
also
Okay,
have-
that's fine. So I rolled. Let me find perception. A 4.
A 4.
Nice.
Okay.
Really
Marcel.
solid perceiving.
21.
Okay. Mocha
7.
and Scoria.
18.
Okay. So everybody else doesn't notice. They're too absorbed in the mountainous plate of breakfast in front of them. Like this is a whole meal in itself. But Marcel and Scoria, you notice that Belle has what appears to be some sort of cloth bandage wrapped around both of her fists in an almost glove-like manner.
Are you okay? Are you hurt? What's this bandages for?
Oh, no, nothing in particular, darling. You see, my hands get a little rough when I'm working with the farmland. You see, it's just me and Mason that are running the place now. The other 7 decided to move out, which is perfectly fine. They've all got their own lives now. But just me and Mason here working the farm. And well, you tend to get a couple of ruffians every now and again.
Ruffians?
Of course. Well, can't raise livestock and grow all these veggies and not have animals coming along to try and pilfer. Had a couple of leaf bunnies last week that I had to catapult back into the forest.
Okay, animals, not people.
Oh gosh, no. The only people we come around here are ones that are coming to buy directly from the creamery. Now, normally Mason takes the carriage down to Wormwood. So I'm guessing where you kiddos are heading?
Maybe.
I don't think we know where we're heading.
Oh gosh.
We have to find our matron, but we do not know where to start looking.
Oh. Perhaps
All we have is the pendant.
Right. Maybe I could give you a hand?
Appreciate that.
There's only so much I can do since I'm not exactly familiar with your matron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The word seems to baffle her for a moment before her son pipes up. Meemaw, I think they were talking about moms. But like, you know how you have like a patron when you're hosting? I think it's that.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay.
Helga does not appreciate calling her mum. I don't particularly know those specifics, but she prefers us to call her the matron or just by her name.
I suppose that makes sense. Can't have all of you referring to her as Meemaw when you're all so different from one another. Imagine it'd probably make people look at her funny. Well, I appreciate y'all being so honest with me. If I found you in the barn, I might have had my doubts.
Oh,
And she
that was
chuckles.
Plan B.
Oh, well, I mean,
Because if we
I'm
could
sure-
not get any response and the door was locked, then we had to get out of the wind.
and she visibly shudders at the thought of having missed the 5 of you by going to bed earlier than planned. It seems to make her shake to her core a little bit as the thought processes through her like somebody's run a cold finger down her spine. Gosh, let's not talk about the maybes. Not a pleasant idea to imagine that there are people being left out in the cold.
Yes, Mom. Mom, as in...
She thinks that you
Lady.
call her mum for a minute, and there is a small look of delight that crosses her face before she realizes what you actually said. Well, of course. Now, I know it's a little bit selfish of me, but would you mind helping out May and Mason with the farm whilst we figure out how to find your matron?
Yes, that is perfectly fine. After all, we are eating your food.
Oh.
It is only right to repay in kind.
Oh, you don't have to feel like you have to repay me. I feel happy just knowing that you're all alive.
Yeah,
That's the
but
main
to
thing.
work or do anything, really.
Well, she ponders for a moment. We have had a couple of little problems out in the plant patch that we could use a couple of hands with, really. You ever dealt with a leaf bunny?
What's this worth?
And she looks at you inquisitively.
Sorry, what did she say?
You ever dealt with a leaf bunny?
Have I ever dealt with a leaf bunny?
History check.
Yeah. Have you?
That is a 13.
Yes, you have. The little rabbits that make nests out of leaves and basically weave them into their fur, so that they carry their nests on them.
We've dealt with them before. We sometimes encountered them when we're foraging.
She looks delighted. Oh, really? Oh, that's great. Oh, absolutely wonderful. And she goes over, has a little poke about, and it seems as though she's debating what chores she should distribute out between yourselves and her son, who is sitting there enjoying a concerningly large tankard of coffee.
Well,
And as she's pondering, she shrugs. Well, I reckon the first thing we ought to do is let you kiddos get settled, and make sure all of your stuff's okay. And then I'll come find you in a little bit, okay?
Yes,
What
miss.
a heathen.
Oh, no need to call me miss. Call me Belle.
Yeah, yes, Belle.
And she smiles sweetly at you as you call her that. Now, Mason, you know what you gotta do today? Oh, come on, Ma. Now, don't you come on me, mister. You're gonna go out there and you're gonna go make sure Betsy's doing alright. Gosh, the cold can't done her any good. Alright, Ma. Fine. Just finishing my coffee. And he puts the mug down, and it lands a bit heavily, and makes the coaster underneath it skitter across the table before he gets up and goes and checks. And she shakes her head at him a little bit. Oh, dear. Well, one thing I should check before you kiddos go back through to the living room. And she pulls out a tape measure and starts checking over and getting rough measurements as to the size of your physical sizes, so like how tall you are, how round, like the width of your frames.
I stand on my little tippy toes.
And she smiles, very gently pats you on the head to get you to stand flat on your feet. She goes over to the box that she pulled dressing gowns out of, roots around, and finds some almost accurate sized garments for you, some overalls and what appear to be like undershirts. When you kiddos are ready, just get changed into these, and I'll show you the land that you'll be helping us out with.
Oh, you okay?
And she leaves them, and in much messier handwriting than what you're used to seeing. Writes out your names and put them on these little bits of paper and puts them on top of each of the outfits, so you can clearly see whose is whose. Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh,
Thank you for your hospitality.
And you can very clearly see in her body language she's trying to avoid having another moment of cuteness aggression.
Also, survive another squeeze.
And she leaves the room, leaving you all to talk about what's going on.
Well, I cannot believe we're alive.
Mm-hmm.
I was certain we were going to die. Not going to lie.
Thanks to
Okay.
Mocha's incredible smell
Yes.
or sense of smell.
You are a lifesaver, Mocha.
I'm still really hungry though.
Yes, you know.
You know.
You know.
Well, it won't be a few hours to lunch, so. But
I mean, when I saw Mason drinking that big cup of coffee, I was wondering if I should get some myself.
why didn't you ask?
I don't know, I felt kind of shy.
Okay, I ask for you next time. So, I guess what's the plan of action? We get our strength back up, rest here, and then start looking for leads as to where Matron went.
Mm-hmm. I think we go to the next town over. We see if anyone knows that name we heard, Archbishop something or other.
Lux. And the word
Hmm.
almost comes out like spit.
Archbishop have to do with around here though, especially going in person.
I have no idea, but I get the feeling we will be finding out.
A thought just occurred to me. Scoria, make a religion
Yes.
check.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I forgot. I am
Oh,
religious.
yeah.
Because I forgot for a moment that Scoria worships anima.
Fuck.
Is it time?
That
This
one.
time I rolled a 2, but that is a 5 total.
She no longer worships anima.
Well, fuck you.
You ponder for a moment and wonder if it's possible for you to offer up. You might be able to offer up a prayer to your goddess in hopes that she might shed some light on this situation. As Anima, is the goddess of darkness, yes, but she also is one of the goddesses that embodies motherhood, and so she may be moved to your plight.
We're lacking a mother.
So if you like, you can offer up a prayer and make a second religion check to see if Anima
Okay.
can give you any
You want
details.
me to make the prayer up?
You don't have to
Right.
actually say the prayer. You can just
Our
Yeah.
Father who
you
art in
pray.
heaven.
Dear Anima,
Our mother.
our matron,
Give us the prayer.
our matron, our mother figure was taken from us by a man whom we do not know, carrying a strange symbol that we do not know. If you could offer any guidance, much be appreciated.
What is your religion check?
I'm not.
Don't interrupt a woman when she's praying.
He's not offering any guidance.
Another one. That is a potato. Oh dear. Another one.
It seems as though, as of right now, your prayers go unanswered, and you realize that you have picked the worst possible time of day to do this, as your prayers from anima are most commonly answered in the darker hours of the day. It is slowly approaching 10 a.m. and the sun is in full beam. So your prayers would, even if your prayer went, it may have been nullified by any other light.
By Alexander.
Potentially.
I will try again later.
And we shall wrap up there, as we have hit the 3-hour mark. It is the end of our session time. Hope you enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen!